gang, Mr. Tanner here. Things Not Taught Tutoring. This is High School Success. This is our third unit of study. This is 3-1. And this is tied in, Unit 3 is tied into the hard skills, as I call them. Things that you can install from day one, which will help you kind of get down the road and experience a lot more success now that you have this understanding under your belt. But the first question, and 3-1 is going to cover study skills and really meeting deadlines, those two things. Let's handle the easy one first, meeting deadlines. All right, they are called deadlines for a reason, and that is when they're due. Okay, so it amazes me every year I get new students that are like, well, I'll just turn it in tomorrow. It's not a big deal. Please don't. From a teacher standpoint, I want you to be considerate of others. I've got every year I teach about 175 students at an AP level course. And when people keep turning things in late, it just means my grading goes later and later and later, and it really drags things out. So from a teacher's perspective, I'm like, please hit deadlines. From a student perspective, all you're doing is dragging the inevitable out. Teachers are pretty cognizant of the fact that they shouldn't give you too much to do, right? They should give you an equal amount of work for the amount of time you're in class and you should spend out of class. So their deadlines are built into that logic as well. If there's a fault on the teacher, it's sometimes we forget that you have 3 other core classes plus electives, plus athletics, and those things. So every once in a while we'll talk about emailing a teacher and talking to a teacher later. But you should meet your deadlines. If there's a hard due date, by all means get that hard due date, have it done, and trust me, your grades will be higher and your stress will be lower. So use and meet deadlines. Now, moving on. How much time do I study per class? When do I study? I have known people, first off, when do you study? I've known people in my life who are night owls, and I've known people in my life who are day birds, and they want to get it done. I've seen people be successful at coming straight home from school, knocking out an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of homework, and then the rest of the night's theirs to relax and do what they need to. I also have kids and have seen kids who come home and they mess around for a couple hours, relaxing and doing those things. And then when they finally get down to doing their homework, they start about 10:30 at night and start finishing up at midnight. Well, I will tell you right now, one of the most valuable things you can have as a student is your sleep time. Okay? Your body needs it at your age. And, I'm kind of thinking if I could start school at a later time, I would, just to give you time to sleep in, but that just drags everything out. So here's what I would say. When to study, knock it out as quickly in the afternoon as you can. Come home, do those chores, help around the house, do the things you need, or stay at school late, go sit in the library, go sit in a collaborative area, whatever you have available to yourself, but get that homework done and knock it out. Now, how much time should you apply to every bit of subject? At my school and at yours, there are what are called core classes, and that's going to be your math, your science, your social studies, and probably your English and language arts. That will be where you want to concentrate the bulk of your homework time, okay, or the time spent out of class. I would say, and there's 2 answers here I can give you. For every hour you are in class, I would give a minimum of about 15 minutes to 30 minutes homework time just to kind of either create notes or study or read the textbook at home to clarify on an idea. Now, I say that and I say that under the understanding of that would be a level classroom. So for every hour you're in class, I would say 30 minutes homework time. Unless you absolutely get what they're saying, and then you can sweep that off your plate and focus on that subject matter that you're not that good at, right? So, now, that being said, let's look at the upper level classes. And these are your AP level or dual credit levels here in the States. the college level courses you're taking in high school and those things, you're going to have to apply more time at homework or at homework than you normally would for a level class. That's why we tell kids, man, don't completely take an AP load or a college level load, because you're gonna hurt yourself mentally, and it's not going to benefit you. You have a lot of work to do. My AP level kids, I fully expect, if we're in class for an hour and a half, I expect an hour and a half worth of homework, and that's reading and assignments and projects and all those things. So if we meet, I think on a general week, we'll meet either 3 hours or 4.5 hours, because we are block schedules. That's going to have to be 3 hours outside of class that they have to find to really make sure they understand the material. So from that standpoint, level classes, I would say give yourself about 30 minutes for every time you're in class to about 30 minutes outside of class, right? And just to keep you up on things and to keep yourself organized. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps. Meet your commitments, meet your deadlines, and don't overdo it. Work smart. Just saying every night I do 3 hours worth of homework. Well, if you're not doing effective strategies for that homework, don't do it for 3 hours. You're hurting yourself. So find the effective strategies, and I can talk more on those later. Get rid of the distractions. Here's a great move. Take your cell phone, give it to your parents, say, I got to study, keep that on you, right? And give it to me when I'm done in an hour. If you can study or make note cards in 15 minutes that are going to help you, that's what you want to do. But don't overdo the homework. More time is not necessarily better spent time. Focus on the concepts you're confused about, right? And part of that time, use study buddies, call friends, ask them, but focus on the things where you're really struggling. It's the best advice I can give for that. Anyway, next one is 3-2. We're literally going to get into the meat and bones of taking notes and how to use these. I'll see you then.